Hi, my name is Jacques. I'm going to be your host for that last session. Thank you for staying with us. It's been a long day, but a lot of material. I guess everyone enjoyed the day so far. So the panel is going to be around AI. I'm going to do this in English. Obviously, the panel is mostly English, except for Martin.
Habla español.
Yes. So, but feel free to ask your question in French, and I'll translate, or use ChatGPT to do so if I can't translate myself. That was a joke. I also got 3 questions from the customers. So I'll go through them quickly. One of them is, I guess I have friends in the room. So the question here is, why Jacques? Why me doing this panel?
And the second one is?
I didn't.
Why? Why Jacques?
So anyway, but just before, I was going too fast here. I want to introduce the panel. I think that would be the appropriate thing to do, and myself. So we'll start with the Infor team in front. We have Wendy Franklin, which you all heard today, Max Fisher, and Wassim, and Martin Pelletier from NOVIPRO, who's our Chief Strategy Officer, works also in building the AI ecosystem at NOVIPRO Group. So there we go. So the why Jacques, I think it's obvious. I'm doing such a good job. So I did it last year, so I'm back this year. Okay. I'm going to read that question. I'm going to translate it. Is AI works on-prem or only in the cloud?
So for doing stuff like the Velocity Suite, which is the process mining and the OCR technology, that's for your cloud customers. You can do it on the way to cloud, but for your cloud customers. For the augmented intelligence service, Wassim, I'll let you go. That should work on-prem.
For augmented intelligence, we can get data from any on-prem or on-cloud source. There's multiple of data connectors and enterprise connectors that can pull data from either on-prem or on-cloud, and we had customers where they were on-prem and we were able to pull the data and work and send it back without any issues.
Don't hesitate to ask more questions if need be. The last one from the crowd is there, I can say that one in French, since it's, yeah, it's NOVIPRO. So, y a-t-il des formations données par NOVIPRO au sujet des mises à jour?
Des mises à jour à partir du produit d'Infor ou mises à jour par
J'imagine.
rapport?
So I think I know where that comes from. So I would say the answer is yes. So is NOVIPRO there to support our customers whenever there's updates on the Infor side? Of course we are.
Question.
Don't tell me you wrote that question, though.
I was discussing that subject with Jean a few minutes ago, and I think the question is related to new uplifts.
Updates. That's kind of what I'm trying to, yeah.
What we're saying is that right now, there's no training on that, but we were talking about maybe putting something together to train people on that, or, you know, with the basic information on how to use new features.
Okay.
I don't know if this comes from the roundtable or not, but we didn't talk about it at the roundtable, so okay. We'll look into it. Yeah.
Okay, good. Another question, this time for Max. See, they gave me questions and they tell me who to ask it.
Oh, Lord. Hopefully
so,
I know it.
Question, do we need to be running CSI Cloud Suite Industrial in the cloud for Velocity Suite to work?
So you need to be licensed for Cloud Suite. You can start using these things as soon as you go live, or to help you go live. So if there's, the Velocity Suite's not available for strictly on-prem or hybrid customers. If you're moving towards the cloud, these things are available. So from day one, when you go live, you can utilize like the invoice processing and the customer order creation. You need more data to do the process mining. And then those tools like RPA and the IDP and the Gen AI, you can use those tools if you have some things that are like stopping you from going live in the cloud. You can use those tools to help you get live.
So a customer that's not on CSI yet could still start using?
They could start using those things in efforts to go live.
Okay.
But we don't support doing things on-prem with the Velocity Suite.
Got it. Good. Next question, Wassim. What are the common pain point and fear for AI customer?
So I would say most of our customers' pain point would be adoption. Users tend to not accept the results as they are. I mean, they tend to be skeptical of what they're seeing. They do not trust the results at first as they see them. And that's why we try to help them actually trust these results and adoption by giving them not just the results, but other insights. I mean, people already are skeptical to use any new technologies. They usually resist that. So we try to give them the right tools to help them trust these results and use them and adopt them. Now, in terms of fears, I would say the technical complexity is one of the main fears that customers fear. I mean, they're afraid of handling all that complexity, machine learning, all that stuff. But our Infor AI and Infor OS solutions handles all that seamlessly in a way that the workflow will take care of running everything end to end. Just your data, wherever it is, it will pull it, do the transformation, and send back the results wherever you'd like them to be. There will be insights, dashboards, and all that stuff. We can build on top of that, as I mentioned in the first point, that will help you actually get even deeper and better insights, but you don't have to worry about the complexity.
Good, thank you. This time, Max and Wendy. How can Infor Velocity Suite improve efficiency and reduce cost?
Yes, the first one, efficiencies, you got to find out where you have the most improvement or where you need improvement. So that would be the process mining. Then you make your changes, right? So that could be, oh, we didn't know that this existed in CSI. Let's turn this on. Let's maybe change our business process. Or you could look at some of those automations, like the out-of-the-box stuff, like the invoice processing, the customer order creation, the SPC trend analysis, those sort of things. And then to see if, hey, did we actually become more efficient? Did we actually get value from this? You go back to process mining and you do a before and after analysis. Hey, did we get faster at this process? Did we become more efficient? Those sort of things. Wendy?
Anything to add to that?
No, I would say, we've had various customer scenarios right now where we've already seen some realizations on the efficiencies gained very quickly after deployment, after implementation, in as early as 6 to 8 weeks, especially on the invoice processing when you have multiple resources doing three-way matching. And those can be in the way of cash flow, or they can be in full-time headcount that are deployed to more strategic positions within the organization.
All right. Thank you. Any question? No? Wassim, I have one for you. What if a client would like to leverage machine learning for more accurate forecasting? How can Infor help?
Well, yes, that's exactly what we do. And if you want to do machine learning forecasting and all that, we will help you every step of the way in a way that you don't need to have the expertise or any of the technical knowledge for it to run. We will take care of it. We pretty much, all you need is to understand your business and your requirement. That's where we'll have all sessions in the beginning. Then we'll handle all the technical complexities and create the workflow and run the results. And also we offer smooth onboarding, I would call it, in a way that our solution is not a black box. It's not that there's AI and it will give you results. We explain what happened inside, what's the feature we're creating, how the model pretty much works, and what kind of results to expect. And a funny thing we faced before is that initially we started with customer, didn't know much about forecasting. So when they see an issue in the result, they panic, there is an issue in data, so we go and explain stuff, how things are working. But with time, with a few weeks in, they see an issue. I think we have an issue, but I think we know the reason. So can you please just confirm? Because we went through that smooth onboarding and they know much more about the solution. They became pretty much AI experts as well.
Okay.
That's the best outcome that you could expect. Yep.
Next question is for the audience. So I'm going to force that one on you. So, do you feel your team have the necessary skills? I can say it in French. Pensez-vous que votre équipe a les skills nécessaires pour implémenter et manager le AI dans votre organisation? Voyez-vous des lacunes aujourd'hui?
On sait non. C'est dur l'adoption, mais c'est dur aussi de voir, en tant qu'entreprise, tu vas investir ou tu vas avoir un gain. On a parlé ce matin, là, que c'est un peu la discussion qu'on a eue ce matin. Tu vas avoir un gain de ce côté-là, mais c'est un peu flou. Ça va vite, le côté AI présentement. Puis c'est là qu'il est venu.
Fait que ton équipe est prête, mais tu ne sais pas par où commencer?
Oui, puis mon équipe n'est pas prête.
OK, elle n'est pas prête, c'est ça que tu disais. OK, parfait.
C'est les deux.
OK, les deux.
On ne sait pas par où commencer, par où le prendre.
OK. Y a-tu des initiatives qui ont été entamées? Qu'est-ce que vous faites avec ça?
Présentement, c'est Copilot. On est allé vers Copilot, puis c'est à peu près tout. Là.
OK.
Y a-t-il d'autres personnes qui vivent la même situation en tant qu'entreprise?
C'est la différence qui est dure. Il y a trop de hype autour de l'AI. Les gens se disent il faut l'utiliser, mais on ne sait pas quoi faire, il faut l'utiliser. Mais c'est une approche qui est comme pas vraiment business-orientée, si on peut dire.
OK. Quelqu'un en arrière, je pense que tu avais...
Non, il avait dit moi aussi.
Non. Oui.
Mais justement, là-dessus, c'est souvent, même au niveau de la haute direction, il va y avoir beaucoup de hype au niveau là, il va y avoir des outils d'AI, c'est cool, c'est la nouvelle tendance, on veut embarquer là-dedans, alors on va faire des projets pilotes, des affaires. Là, on se lance. Puis moi, j'ai fait l'exercice pour le fun, j'ai fait un sondage auprès de la majorité de mes utilisateurs au niveau des utilisateurs qui ont un PC. À quoi l'AI pourrait vous assister dans votre day-to-day? Qu'est-ce que vous aimeriez qu'il vous aide à faire? Je pense que la moitié des réponses, c'était « j'en ai aucune idée ». Fait qu'au final, tout le monde veut utiliser l'AI, mais c'est pas clair exactement qu'est-ce qu'ils sont capables d'en tirer. Eux-mêmes ne le savent pas. Ils savent que ça va aider, juste pas où ou comment y arriver finalement pour que ça les aide, que ça les aide, que ça soit vraiment un outil qui devienne efficace dans les process.
So just to maybe sum up the feedback from the crowd is, it's a buzzword, AI. I asked the question, right? What are so it's a buzzword. There's a hype around it, but they don't know where to start. That's basically kind of, and that's what we're seeing.
That's correct. And so Infor conducted a survey last year of over 3,000 organizations and across 7 industries, and that was pretty much the outcome from all of the participants in the survey from all of those organizations, in saying that, they really don't have the skill set or the knowledge within their teams or the expertise, and they don't even really know what AI technologies they want to adopt or look into. So it's a common theme.
Yep.
Mais juste pour vous rassurer, vous n'êtes pas les seuls. La majorité des clients auxquels on parle aujourd'hui, quand on veut parler d'AI, ça ont toutes la même chose. Ils veulent tous soit réduire les coûts, optimiser, peu importe, être plus efficace, whatever, mais par où commencer? Puis c'est surtout le coût, puis les ressources, puis c'est souvent... Je vais probablement en parler plus tard lors de ta prochaine question, mais c'est l'approche dans laquelle on peut peut-être accompagner les gens, mais vous n'êtes pas les seuls. Tout le monde a le même mindset aujourd'hui.
Je vous poserai la question, je l'ai posée plus tôt. Le AI, voyez-vous ça comme un risque ou une opportunité?
Les deux.
Comment? Ouais. Je suis tout à fait d'accord avec vous là. C'est les deux. Ouais. Good. Back to the question, Max and Wendy, how many use cases does Infor have today in Velocity Suite, and how does it work?
Yes,
Do customers get access to all of them?
Yes, I think today in the April release there was 9, 8 or 9 released for CSI. We have other ERPs, so I think it was like 40 total released in the April release. And then, what we're looking is to get as many use cases as possible, but it's not use cases for use cases' sake. As we build them with customers, we add them back into our catalog. What was the rest of the question? Sorry.
No, that was it. So how many use cases do you have? The next one is, if a customer wants to develop their own customized use case, how would they work and how would that cost?
Yeah. So there's two ways, right? You can develop your own. We've seen some customers, if you guys follow our YouTube channel, Indries, a nice distributor out of the US, they actually build their own use cases. We did one for them and they built all their own. You can do that and the technology is yours to use. But as well, if you would like, Infor to build it alongside you guys or NOVIPRO to build it alongside you guys, that's more of like depending on the use case, right? It can be a very big, long project, a very small project. So it's more of like the regular services, work orders, and those sort of things.
I have a question regarding the velocity suite. In the presentation, there was some accompaniment, I don't know how to say this, but like 8 weeks to do this, and then 10 to 14 weeks to do the other thing, and all this. So this was per use case in the velocity suite. Is it possible that we set at one point, like once we've done one or two, that we keep on going, but in a self-serve manner without depending on a third party?
Yes. So, that's a great point.
Yeah.
So usually that first use case is going to take a little longer. That's more of, learning the technologies, right? Setting up the RPA, understanding how these things work. The next one should go quicker. The next one should go quicker. Once you guys are able to support. We have something coming from Infor, hopefully for later this year, October. It's called global packaging. So some of these use cases that we have out of the box, being able to put that in your tenant right when you sign. And so you already have it in your tenant. You don't need to have our teams come and help you, give you the code, put it in your tenant, and get it up and running. It would be something where we could automatically deploy it into your tenant. So, hey, you signed for Velocity Suite. You'd like vendor performance insights, that use case. I say, sweet. What's your tenant ID? It goes in. And then from there, if you would like some tweaks and some changes, we could get involved, or you guys could do it yourself, self-service.
Good. One more question to the audience. I think we covered that. What is the biggest challenge AI still needs to overcome?
Stop hallucinating.
It's getting better pretty fast. That's a reality, but as I'm using ChatGPT and I can see from a month ago, Chat getting way better. Just, yeah. Max and Wassim, how does Infor Velocity Suite handle personal data, and is it secure?
Yeah, so all of our technologies are using the same security. So as much as you guys trust Sightline and the cloud, you should trust the Infor technologies. It's all in your AWS instance. It does not leave that. If we're calling any third-party APIs, there's encryptions there. We've got all the documentation on security inside of Concierge, if you guys are more interested in it. So that's from the technology standpoint. Wassim, for the augmented intelligence, how do you guys take care of it?
Yeah, I think we follow the same procedure for most of it. Most of your data will live in data lake and Infor ways, safe. That most of our communication will be from and to data lake to the model. And there's APIs that are supported by Infor to help pull data from different ERPs securely and without any issues. But your data will live in the same tenant without going anywhere unless you want it to go through request.
The next question, and I know you guys through the presentation today, you answered somewhat that question, but kind of a nice spot to place it again today just to wrap up. How do you think AI will evolve over the next 5 to 10 years? Do you believe it will replace human job or create new opportunities? And that's also to the crowd as well. I'm asking that question, but I will start with you guys.
I'll take a stab at it. So I would say it's both. Yeah, it will replace some of the tasks you have today, but it would also create a lot of opportunity. Where I kind of see it going and where we'll see in the near future would be on the agentic side of AI. If you guys have seen AI agents, so instead of having like a chat conversation with ChatGPT and it comes back with an answer, you'd be able to say, hey, please go process this. And the agent would live almost like a regular user and do those tasks. And then just report back either an audit log or a notification that these things are done. Basically having like a a smart robot user. Like the RPA automations we have, you have to set up every step of the way. It's more about having like an agent that can go and do those things and be a bit more flexible.
And I would add to that, I don't know, I think we're going to see more sophistication and predictive analysis of your business so that you're not having to go in and do the analysis yourself. It's actually going to be recommended for you. I don't know if everybody saw the latest in the news in the healthcare industry. In last night's news, there was all about the predictive analysis that's happening with sepsis. So, you know, there's AI intelligence being built in every industry, but that was a very relevant and applicable example of that predictive analysis. And basically, they're going to have the equipment to do blood test predictability about how to treat sepsis when someone comes in and has an emergency situation and goes into sepsis. You know, there's many iterations of how to treat that, but they're testing the blood using AI to say, okay, this particular patient is going to need this particular medicine, which will work well with this type of sepsis that this person is experiencing. And that today is something that's very subjective based on the situation. So that was kind of cool to see.
I like to use also NVIDIA. I was watching a video the other day, and the Blackwell chip, one of their biggest chip, is created by AI, by a chip, not a human. And the CEO was explaining that it would take way more time if an engineer or a human would stab at it and get to that level. So it is replacing, at some case, replacing job, but creating opportunities.
De le remplacer complètement, je pense pas. Ça va augmenter, ça va changer, officiellement, ça va changer la vie de bien des gens. Là, depuis les 2 dernières années, on le voit avec ChatGPT, ça l'augmente, pas la valorisation, mais la capacité de pouvoir même traduire ou d'informer ou même de pouvoir lire, avoir des résumés par rapport à la documentation. Puis ça permet à l'être humain de se transformer, d'être plus performant, je dirais, à un certain point, parce que je regarde depuis que tu utilises chat et c'est vraiment... ça t'a beaucoup changé. Mais...
Fred,
je n'avais pas le choix de le dire. Mais de dire qui va prédire dans 5 ans ou dans 10 ans ce que ça va être, quand là, même pas 2 ans, on pensait même pas parler de ça, puis ça allait transformer nos vies. Fait que c'est sûr que ça peut faire peur à des gens, ça peut faire peur s'il y a un manque de contrôle, c'est surtout si on veut donner le plein contrôle à l'intelligence artificielle de la façon dont on le voit avec Gen AI. Mais là, on voit de plus en plus des agents ou des end-to-end, des outils qui permettent d'avoir plein d'agents spécialisés dans différentes choses pour arriver à des tâches. Mais effectivement, ça va changer la façon de travailler, la façon de faire les choses. Mais...
OK. Dernière question, avant de passer la parole à Alain. C'est à toi, Martin.
Ah, OK.
Yep. Comment NOVIPRO investit dans le AI?
Ça a été un long moment de réflexion l'an passé. On a fait un lancement qui était au mois de décembre 2024, désolé. Quand j'ai commencé à regarder la portion, je regardais beaucoup les technologies. Quelle technologie va pouvoir aider quelle technologie? Mais ça arrive au bout de la ligne. Quand tu arrives à vouloir identifier une technologie en intelligence artificielle pour aider une entreprise, tu as perdu en amont ce que le client a de besoin. Fait qu'on a créé un écosystème avec d'autres entreprises, avec des data scientists dans différents paliers. On a le marketing, on a le manufacturier, tout ce qui est finance, assurance. Et puis, ce que ça nous permet de faire, c'est d'aller face au client, puis de lui parler, puis d'agir comme un conseiller et non pas comme essayer de lui vendre ce qu'il y a à vendre en termes de technologie. Ce qu'on s'est aperçu dans le passé, si tu parles à Google, va te vendre Google, Azure va te vendre Azure. Ils vont tous te vendre un produit possible et inimaginable. Donc, tu essaies de faire fitter ton besoin dans une technologie. C'est plutôt l'inverse qu'il faut qu'il arrive. Fait que notre approche qu'on a, puis qu'on a lancée au mois de décembre l'an passé, c'est d'être... en termes de conseiller stratégique et ne pas essayer de pouvoir vendre une technologie. Puis tout ce que vous avez mentionné ça, à tous les fois qu'on parle à des clients, c'est toute la même affaire. Par où je commence, comment je fais les choses, puis comment je peux en tirer profit.
Souvent, la gouvernance.
Oui, puis là, l'objectif, c'est pas de vendre un produit, c'est d'être là comme consultant. Fait que c'est de déterminer souvent ce qui arrive, c'est de la formation. Formation au niveau des gestionnaires, formation au niveau des propriétaires, parce que l'événement... On se rappelle le cloud dans le passé. Les propriétaires descendaient dans un trade show quelconque, puis là, tout le monde s'en allait dans le cloud. Ils revenaient au bureau. On s'en va tous dans le cloud, c'est la panacée. On va dépenser énormément d'argent. Beaucoup d'entreprises n'avaient pas pris en amont de dire pourquoi je veux faire telle chose. On vit exactement la même chose aujourd'hui avec l'AI. Puis Puis là, la dette technologique est encore plus grande. On l'a eu avec le cloud, là, la dette risque d'être plus grande si on ne prend pas le temps de bien comprendre. Puis souvent, ce qu'on arrive, c'est de faire de la formation. Pourquoi former? C'est pour que tous les gens aient le même langage, le même vocabulaire. À partir de ce moment-là, c'est de déterminer des tables de travail dans les différents groupes ou business units pour déterminer qu'est-ce qui pourrait les aider. C'est là qu'on vient introduire nos partenaires dans l'écosystème, où on va aller chercher des spécialistes dans le métier du manufacturier, puis qu'on va aller s'asseoir avec eux, puis on va aller discuter de qu'est-ce qui sont les enjeux, puis de montrer aussi qu'est-ce qui peut se faire aussi à l'extérieur, puis de là, déterminer c'est quoi le meilleur retour sur l'investissement. Une fois qu'on a fait ça, puis on est juste en formation, évaluation de use case. Après ça, on développe un roadmap, c'est-à-dire une feuille stratégique. Dans ta feuille stratégique, là, c'est là que tu vas dire quelle technologie va venir pouvoir supporter cette chose-là. Puis chaque ligne de business, puis peut-être vous le vivez dans d'autres places, c'est les HR qui sont meilleurs que tout le monde parce qu'ils ont un spécialiste en chat, pas en chat, mais en AI. Fait que c'est là qu'on amène. Fait que ce qu'on fait, c'est supporter le client, l'amener dans la bonne place. Puis si un use case ne fait pas l'affaire, on y va pas, on va en choisir un autre. Puis l'autre portion que je voudrais que vous pensiez aussi, c'est tout ce qui est formation, puis essayer de trouver de la valorisation. Il existe des programmes de subvention qui peuvent aller jusqu'à 50 payer la facture de juste pouvoir comprendre c'est quoi l'ER puis comment je pourrais l'appliquer. Fait que si j'ai une suggestion à faire aux personnes qui sont ici aujourd'hui, si vous désirez, je vous offre un 60 minutes, on pourrait s'asseoir ensemble pour bien vous expliquer exactement le portfolio puis le panel dans lequel qu'on accompagne nos clients. Puis ça a beaucoup de traction, là, quand on parlait de formation, ça a beaucoup de traction aujourd'hui parce que justement, les conseils d'administration, ils veulent savoir qu'est-ce qu'on fait. Parce que tu n'as pas le choix. Faut que tu y ailles. Il y a le risque, toute la sécurité, mais c'est aussi un investissement qui va te permettre de pouvoir avoir un avantage compétitif avec la compétition.
Merci, Martin. Des questions avant que je rende la parole à Alain? C'est bon? Merci beaucoup, tout le monde. Guys, thank you very much. The last question was, how is NOVIPRO investing in AI? And Martin kind of shared the ecosystem. The partnership we have with Infor and other partners, but how we need to get invested in the area. So that's basically how he positioned that. Thank you, guys.
Merci beaucoup.
Thank you.
Merci tout le monde.
Thank you all so much.